everybody, this is Dr. Zeb, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Sunday morning virtual experience. I'm grateful to be here with you on this great Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to you and your entire family. And I certainly hope that all is well with you and your family on this great Easter morning. I tell you, this is one of the most exciting Sunday mornings of the year. If we would really be honest, I don't know. I think people enjoy Christmas and I appreciate Christmas, but I think Easter might be one of my favorite holidays because it really is at the root and core of everything that we believe, right? And if you don't believe in the Easter story, you can't believe in Jesus. It's that simple. And so at the core of what we believe is really what we celebrate on Easter Sunday or Resurrection Sunday, whatever you want to refer to it as. And so I'm grateful to be here with you this morning. I'm so grateful that you've tuned in this morning. Listen, I've got a quick and powerful word with you for you today on this great Easter Sunday. It was my goal. I'll be honest. It was my goal for us to be back in the building today. And I want to especially shout out the board. We had a really good conversation, and my goal was to be in the building today to launch our hybrid approach today. But there's so many things we have to just get done before we get in there. And getting in the building today would have been way too much of a rush. And so it was really my goal for us to be having Easter service and relaunching today, like so many other churches are. But we will see you in less than a month. In 28 days, in fact, we'll see you in the building, kicking off this hybrid approach, and I'm just really excited to be here. And so, just I can't see the person this morning to shake your hand and hug your neck, but I'm glad to be with you live and in color this morning for a very powerful Easter Sunday morning word, and I'm just grateful you tuned in with us. So, go ahead and start liking the video, sharing the video, letting everybody know that you're in. That we're on the air. Go ahead and tag 5 people. I know I've got so many people that are out of town. I just got back in town. Kids got back in late last night, really late last night. And so I know I've got so many people out of town and traveling, and so many of you are going to go be with your family, maybe even go to a live service today. And so I want to give you this word and share this with you and get right out of your way. This is going to be a powerful one, and it can't be a part 2. It wouldn't be appropriate to have a part 2 Easter word the week after Easter. So I got to get through all of this and trying to get through all of this today in about 60 minutes. And so I'm so grateful to be here with you and so glad you tuned in. So start liking the video, sharing the video wherever you are. Tell everybody to tune in. Make sure you say good morning in the chat area. I see so many people saying good morning in the chat area already. Too many people to keep up with. We're so grateful that you tuned in. And again, hit that @ symbol wherever you are. Start tagging people, inviting people to tune in. And I'm going to run through the networks. We'll go through our declaration. And then we're going to jump right into a powerful word this morning. Saints, sinners, and the grave. I'm going to talk about an element of the Easter resurrection story that so many people just glance over. You've heard it before, but people glance over this part of the story. I really want to make this make sense to you today, and I think you want to get around it. So let's go through the networks. Facebook, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Those of you that are tuning in on Facebook, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning to you and happy Easter resurrection and Sunday to you. And I just so grateful that you're tuning in. If you're on Facebook, I want you to like this video. If you really truly enjoy our ministry, I want you to hit that like button. We're going to turn to a love button. And I want you to hit the share button, hit the @ symbol and tag all of your friends, and tell them to tune in this morning. Right? But you do all of it for me. We really would appreciate it. Thank you, Facebook, for those who are tuning in via Facebook. Tuning in so faithfully every week on Facebook. And it was good to see you virtually on Facebook. So again, hit the like button, hit the love button, hit the @ symbol, hit the share button, tag all of your friends, Facebook, tell them to tune in. And we're just so grateful that you tune in with us and share with us, or are sharing with us on this morning. Instagram, good morning to you. It is good to see you virtually on Instagram. Those of you that are tuning in via Instagram, thank you so much for tuning in this year. Thank you for your Instagram last week. And so I really truly miss you up. And so start waking everybody up. Put that next thing you're on Instagram. Start telling people to tune in. Pull up the posts that you know you're tuning in. Make sure you say good morning in the chat area. Instagram, if you're tuning in, let us know what you're talking about. It is rude to come to church without speaking. And then once you hit that symbol and start tagging people and telling them to tune in. But I'm getting some notes. Some and it might be a Facebook thing, maybe. Instagram, if they say method in your favor, just put it in the comments. If you say method or something, because a lot of people on Facebook is only say method. I'm not having anything blocking the microphone. I'm working actually on some studio stuff, so that even unfortunately, so it can be a little bit more official. So if you sing, if you feel a method, let me know. If you're in Facebook, if Instagram is saying it's saying too. So it might be a Facebook thing. Facebook saying it's too. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Instagram is saying it's too. So it could be a Facebook thing. And I apologize for that. Maybe if you're on Facebook, maybe jump out of the screen, come into the screen. If you could just jump out of the screen, come into the screen, maybe that will help as well. But I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. I'm not sure if YouTube is having the same issue as well. YouTube is not for this one. So I have no idea what's going on with this video. Because everything is good. It's just that Facebook is acting like this for the so I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. Facebook, or the parents of YouTube, understand those comments. So I apologize. You can jump off, and it's not there, so reach out to those parents. Speaking of YouTube, if you want to do it, there is the thing. If you want to, for those of you that tune into YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. And just remember, it's good to see you guys working. The YouTube channel, you can find us on YouTube at REHABCC. It's at REHABCC. Just go to the search bar, REHABCC, REHABCC in this process, and then you can simply find us there. Make sure you like our channel, subscribe to our channel so that you can get notified when we go live with the notification icon, so that you're notified every time we go live. And then make sure you go to the video support messages there. We have talked over the last 2 years, and would love to see you there. So if you're here, it's good. If it was previously something up with YouTube or Facebook, then I imagine it's crystal clear for what everyone is saying. So again, if you're having problems, go to Instagram if you can. Get the REHABexperience. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, if you log on there, and clicking it will be better. And again, we apologize for that. That's a blessing in the process of technology. But we are still grateful for the convenience of it. And I'm just grateful that we can do it today. Right. That's why I'm liking the video, sharing the video in 3 minutes over to you already. And we're going to continue to walk through the declaration. And so whatever you have, I want you to prepare to say the declaration with us. So this is your first time tuning in to the REHAB Christian Center. And you want to know that every Sunday we walk through the declaration. What does REHAB stand for? It stands for restore, raise, restore, return, restore. It is the five things by which we attempt to operate our ministry. And so every Sunday morning, we go through the declaration, we walk through the declaration so that you can jumpstart your week. We want you to jumpstart your week saying the right things, thinking the right things. We know that the power of life and death is connected to the words we say. So even on this great Easter Resurrection Sunday, I want you to be very mindful of the fact that you have to say the right things in order to see the right things. I want you to remember that. You have to say the right things to see the right things. And it's a good chance that in your life, if you're not seeing the right things, you're probably not saying the right things. All right. All right. Good. I think it's clear now. Good. I don't know what's up, y'all. I apologize. I want to say that again. And thanks, sis. Sis is already giving me an amen. This ain't even in the notes, but I want to share this with you again. In your life, you've got to say the right things to see the right things. And if you're not seeing the right things in your life, it is a good chance you're not saying the right things. And so I want you to say this declaration with us. We do it every single Sunday morning. We walk through the declaration because we want to jumpstart our week. We want to remind ourselves of our purpose, not only just as a ministry, but also we want individually to be reminded of our purpose so that we can walk in everything that God has designed for our lives. All right. And so it should be on your screen. I want you to pause and say this with me. I always read slowly and pause so that you can repeat after me. But I want you to say this with me as we go through it. All right. Say it with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, his love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me, I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win, and my row has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say it with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Did you share that with me, my friends? If you did, do me a favor. I want you, if you said all of that with me, I want you to put in the comments right now, it's going to get better. Come on, no better Sunday than Resurrection Sunday than to type in the comments right now, it's going to get better. If you made that declaration with me, I want you to type it in the comments quickly. It's going to get better. I want you to know on this great Resurrection Sunday that things in your life are getting ready to get better. Things are not going to take a turn for the worse, they're going to take a turn for the better. It's going to get better. Come on, quickly. I need you to declare it emphatically. Put it in all caps. This is one time I'm giving you permission to scream at me in the comments. Put it in all caps if you have to. It's going to get better. I want you to be encouraged on this good Easter Sunday. Don't let nothing, don't let nobody, and don't let no situation steal your joy today. If there ever was a day I want you to smile, that day is today. If there's ever a day I want you to be encouraged, that day is today. Why? Because you got every reason in the world to believe that things in your life are about to get better. Why? Because he lived for us, died for us, rose again for us. And because he lives, we can indeed face tomorrow. And I want you to be encouraged to know that today. Things in your life are going to get better. And everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. It's one of the most powerful lines of our declaration that we say every single Sunday. And I want you to remember that this week. As things in your life get challenging, if things in your life get challenging, let me say that. If things in your life get challenging this week, I want you to remember that phrase. Everything in my life that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Sometimes you have to remind yourself that. And as you do it, I'm here to tell you, you will find yourself not being frustrated, but you will find yourself being motivated, encouraged, knowing that things are going to turn around in your life. It's going to get better. All right. Make sure if you have not invited somebody to church, make sure you do that quickly. I want you to go ahead and hit that @ symbol now, share this video with them. And then I want you to go ahead and type in this morning's subject, Saints, Sinners, and the Grave. I want you to put it in the comments this morning, Saints, Sinners, and the Grave. I've got to get through this in about 40 minutes, and I got to roll today. Saints, Sinners, and the Grave is what we're going to teach teach on rather this morning. And I'm so excited that you have tuned in this morning, shared with us this morning on this great Easter Resurrection Sunday morning. This is going to be a powerful word. I'm going to be in St. Mark chapter 16, verse 9 through 11. It is the classic Easter resurrection story. But this is the version that I want. This is the version I was led to teach this morning because there's an element of this I've got to talk about that we've got to spend some time on that I think is going to free you today. Saints, Sinners, and the Grave. St. Mark chapter 16, verse 9 through 11 in the New Living Translation. I'm not in the King James Version today, Sister Swan. St. Mark chapter 16, verse 9 through 11 in the New Living Translation is where we are. Saints, Sinners, and the Grave. I want you to put that in the comments today. You're going to take notes in the comments. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler all week. And this message is going to bless you in a tremendous way. Let's look at this. St. Mark chapter 16, verse 9 through 11. And again, I want to say to all of you again, happy Easter to you. Happy Resurrection Sunday to you. Thank you so much for tuning in, sharing in with us this morning. And I'm just excited to see another Easter Sunday and to be alive, frankly. It's a blessing to be here and just so grateful to be here with you live and in color today. All right. St. Mark chapter 16, verse 9 through 11 says this, New Living Translation, verse 9. When Jesus rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons. I'm going to come back to that. She went and told those who had been with him and who were mourning and weeping. Last verse, verse 11. When they heard that Jesus was alive and that she had seen him, they did not believe it. All right. They did not believe it. Let's deal with this. Okay. Now, the story of the cross, I want you to record this. The story of the cross should never be shared without the full details. This is going to get good. The story of the cross. I love y'all too, by the way. The story of the cross should never be shared without the full details. I want you to put this in the comments. Again, it's going to make sense in a minute. You'll be the smartest person at the water cooler all week long, even if you got Easter Monday off. The story of the cross should never be shared without the full details. Never. Right? Anytime you share the story of the cross, you should always share the story of the cross with the full details. What are you getting at, Dr. Zeb? What I'm saying is this. When we share the story of the cross, we always talk about what Jesus did, right? And listen, not minimizing. I shouldn't have to say this, but in this social media, take parts of a clip and just share it, society that we live in.
I always feel like I have to give full context for people to get it. I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say this. I'm not minimizing, obviously, what Jesus did. But here's what I want to challenge you to think. Most of the time, when people talk about resurrection, they talk about Easter, they talk about the resurrection, they only talk about what Jesus did, right? And I get it, right? He did the ultimate act of sacrifice. But listen, we all know what Jesus did, but we got to all remember who he did it for, okay? I want you to put that in the comments. We know what Jesus did, but don't forget who he did it for. This is where it's going to get murky for some of y'all. We all know what Jesus did, but never forget who he did it for. This is so critically important, right? We all know what Jesus did, but never forget who he did it for. This is important. Why? Well, it's important because then if we remember who he did it for, then it should get us to a place where we have a really balanced approach, not only towards Easter and Resurrection Sunday, but we have a balanced approach in how we remember what he did, here we go, all year long. This is where I'm going to get in trouble. Y'all know me. It wouldn't be me if it wasn't something, right? Where we not only have a balanced approach to remember what he did on Easter Sunday, but we have a balanced approach towards God all year long, meaning we don't just wait until 1 year Sunday out of the year to remember what he did and who he did it for. Now, how do we do this? It's simple. We do this by remembering that at the end of the day, while Jesus died so that saints can continue to celebrate him, he also died so that sinners would have an opportunity to celebrate him. I'm about to get in trouble. I want to say that again. That's a mouthful. And it's a lot to record, but I need y'all to write this down. Come on, y'all got to type fast today. Not only should we remember that Jesus died so that sinners have an opportunity to celebrate him, we should also remember that he died so that sinners have an opportunity to celebrate him. And see, this is the problem, and this is where I get in trouble. This is the problem that I have with Easter Sunday. I don't have many problems with Easter Sunday, but one problem that I do have with Easter Sunday is that I feel like we spend so much time commercializing Easter, meaning we commercialize it with a bunny. We commercialize it with candy. We commercialize it with brand new outfits. And listen, you can scroll down Instagram and Facebook. You're going to see some sharp people today. And I'm going to be liking the pictures and videos. All right. This is not a sermon of hatred or hating. I'm going to like the videos too. I got some sharp people on my timeline that know how to dress for real, male and female. Right. So I'm going to be liking pictures. I'm going to be liking videos. I'm going to be liking all of that stuff. But here's the problem. And everything that you see glorified on your timeline today, in terms of how people dress and how they look on this day, I want you to count how many messages you see on your timeline that speak to the fact that Jesus died for the folk who ain't got church clothes. That Jesus also died for the people who don't have an Easter outfit. Watch. That Jesus also died for the people who today might be the only day they get a word. Listen to me. And I know that challenges many of you, right? And so we always think about Easter in the context of the saints, but we also have to think about Easter in the context of the sinner. And if you think about Easter in the context of the sinner, here we go, then you don't minimize what he did for the saints. But at the same token, you don't minimize the fact that he also did it for the sinners. Because I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to tell you what my dream Easter Sunday is. And Rehab, I'm giving you a heads up warning. My dream Easter Sunday, probably starting next year, 2023, my dream Easter Sunday is for us to have service. We'll do that, right? And then after we have service, to go out and do what we always do. And what's that? Feed the community. Not have the traditional Easter cookout just for the saints. Again, I don't have a problem with the saints. The saints have a problem with me. I don't have a problem with the saints. Okay, I promise you I don't. All right. but not just an Easter cookout and Easter egg hunt for the saints. That's great. We can maybe do that on Saturday if y'all want to do 2 days. But on Sunday, I want to give God what's due him, give y'all a good word, and then do what we always do, and that is feed the community on it. What better day to serve the community? Swan. Swan, don't start with me today, Swan. Swan said, I got to bring a change of clothes. Pastor might have to bring a change of clothes. I might dress up next Easter. How about that? Now, let me quit picking with y'all. I'm serious. Have Easter service on Sunday, but then when that's over, change clothes and go out and do what we've done. We fed over 20,000 people in less than 7 years. That's what we do. Why? Because that's what the Bible challenges us to do. Matthew 25, right? And there's no better day than today than to go out in the community and do something, watch this, for somebody who don't have Easter clothes. Y'all not listening to me. And so we tell the story of Easter and we really praise what Jesus did. And as believers, we commemorate what he did by putting on nice clothes. And that's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm not criticizing anybody. Y'all, please don't take my words partial and run with it. I'm not criticizing anybody for dressing nice. Y'all dress up today. I can't wait to see. I'm going to like your pictures. I'm going to do all of that today. But all I'm saying is, let's make sure that on this holiday that we have, we also remember who else Jesus did it for. The greatest thing you can do today is be a blessing to somebody who don't know Christ. I'm going to say this again slow, and I want you to record this. On this great Easter Sunday, I want you to record this. The greatest thing you can do today is to bless somebody who don't know Christ. Guess what? I'm going to take them doilies off. Thank you, Sister Bunch. The greatest thing you can do today on Easter Sunday is to be a blessing to somebody who don't know Christ. It's that simple. It's that simple. That's the greatest thing you can do today. Greater than dressing up. Greater than going out to eat. Greater than having an Easter cookout is finding a way to tell the resurrection story to somebody who felt like they couldn't celebrate them because they got challenges, who feels like they can't celebrate them because they have issues in their life, who feels like they can't celebrate him because they're not doing everything the way they should. That's the part of the Easter story that we can't forget, because here's the reality. Listen, I want you to remember this. Here's what we know. And forgive me for those of you that have been in church all your life. Y'all know I teach this way because I have people with varying levels of understanding that tune in that are also part of the Rehab Christian Center. So not everybody really knows the full Easter story. Remember, Jesus wasn't the only one that died on the cross. There were two other folks that died on the cross with Jesus. Both of them were criminals. So Jesus was in the middle on a cross between two criminals. And here's the fact. We don't know what the criminals did. All we know is that one, they were on the cross with Jesus, and two, one of them had the sense to say, Jesus, remember me in paradise, right? And there's so much argument about whether or not that thief made it to heaven or not. There's so much argument on that, but the powerful reality of the matter is Jesus, what makes the moment so significant is not only did he not just do it for saints, he did it between two sinners. And that's the part of the Easter resurrection story we have to tell other people, and there's no better day to tell them than today. All right. And so I don't want you to lose sight of that, because that's a powerful thing that we've got to know. Now, here we go. I want you to record this. I want you to record this. You ready? Record this. When your intentions for people are pure, this is going to make so much sense today. I got to hurry up. When your intentions for people are pure, your effort should follow. I'm going to explain this because I'm going to quickly walk through this text really quickly, and then I'm going to get out of here. All right. When your intentions for people are pure, your efforts should follow. When your intentions for people are pure, your efforts should follow. I'm going to walk through this really quickly because something happens right around St. Mark chapter 16, verse number 1. Right around verse number 1, verse number 2, you see that the Sabbath is over. Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, they get up early in the morning so that they can go anoint Jesus' body. Why? Because they expect to go into the tomb and they expect to see Jesus where they buried him, right? So they get up early in the morning. There's nobody out. There's nobody watching. There are no cameras. TMZ ain't present. Nobody can get any video footage to go post it later to say, hey, this is what we went to go do for Jesus. Y'all like our video, like our picture. None of that stuff happened. They got up early in the morning while nobody was looking on the first day out of the week, and they went up right after sunrise, just after sunrise, to go and anoint Jesus' body, to take care of his body, because they thought, again, he was in the grave. This is important. One of the beautiful things that I like about this story is that they went to go take care of Jesus and their intentions were right. They weren't doing it to be seen. They weren't doing it to get accolades. They weren't doing it so people could pat them on the back, but their intentions were pure. And because their intentions were pure, Jesus ultimately rewards them for their pure intentions. I want you to record this. The quickest way to get blessed is to operate without an agenda. Y'all come on, talk to me. I'm about to hit you with some nuggets real quick. The quickest way to get blessed in your life is to live without an agenda. The quickest way to get blessed in your life is to live without an agenda. I don't mean, not having an agenda or a plan for your life. I'm not talking about that. When we say agenda, we speak to people who do things, but they do them with other things in mind, right? People who do nice things for you with other thoughts in mind, right? Or they help you with other goals in mind. The quickest way to be blessed in your life is to live your life without an agenda. You need in your life people who want to be a blessing. Let me take that back. You need to be one of those people who want to be a blessing to other people without needing to get anything in return. And think about your personal life. If you're anything like me, I get sick of people being around me, doing stuff for me, or being around me or trying to do stuff for me just in hopes of me doing something for them. I don't need that tit for tat, scratch my back, I scratch yours kind of stuff. I don't need that. You need people in your life, and I like that, Sister Michelle. You need people in your life who have no ulterior motive. That's the quickest way to be blessed. That's the quickest way to operate and to move in blessings. And I like that too, Dr. Vance. For that reason, you ought to even be careful of the people you link up with in your life. Because some people, frankly, are linking up in you or linking up to you, not because of what they can do for you, but because of what they can get from you. All right? They call it the gravy train. Right? Some people ain't linking up with you because they genuinely like you, or they genuinely are interested in you, or they're genuinely interested in pushing you or pushing you forward, or seeing you make it or seeing you be successful. Some people are linking with you because you're the next hot thing. Okay? Or because you got a lot of momentum in your life and they want a part of that. Right? And so you need to make sure you surround yourself with people whose motives and agendas are clear. And so I like the Marys here because the Marys did not go to the grave expecting nothing, trying to get something in return, trying to be seen. They didn't have a life insurance policy on Jesus. So they was trying to make sure he wasn't there so they can he was there so they could get the policy. They weren't doing none of that stuff. They ain't have a 401k. They ain't had no death benefits yet. They ain't had none of that. They went with clear intentions, and they went there to try to make sure that Jesus' body was okay. And because they went with good intentions, God rewarded them. Here's a word for you on this great Easter Sunday morning. I believe this, that in this season of your life, God is getting ready to reward everybody who is doing stuff with good intentions. And here's the thing. You can do things with good intentions and things still not come out well. I want to be clear here. Just because you have good intentions doesn't mean things will always work out. Y'all listen, man, listen, I just gave you a word. Having good intentions doesn't always mean things will work out. Sometimes you can really set out for things to go well in certain areas of your life and have great intentions, but it doesn't mean it's going to work out. But this is what I believe. I believe that when you do things with good intentions, God honors that. Which means if you do things with the right intent speaks to attitude, intent speaks to disposition, intent speaks to spirit. How is your spirit when you attempted, or how was rather your spirit when you attempted to do something? How was rather your spirit when you attempted to do this, or you attempted to do that? I believe that God honors the intent of your spirit when you go and attempt to do things. And so when your intentions are pure, when your spirit is pure, when your attitude and disposition is pure, when you're attempting to do things, and even if it doesn't go well, God honors that. And there's great value here, because their intent going to the grave was to do the right thing. They get there and Jesus wasn't there. But God still honored their intent because their spirit is right. So the greatest thing you can have on this great Easter Sunday is not a lot of money. It's not how many people you help. It's not how many people know your name. It's not how effective you might think you are at work, in your career, in your relationship. None of that stuff matters. The greatest thing that matters is the intent of your heart. The intent of your heart has to be right for God to honor things in your life the way he should. And I found this out from personal experience. Things can go left, but when your intent is right and your spirit is right, God eventually honors that. Okay? And somebody needs to hear that today. God's about to honor your life because your spirit was right, not because you were perfect. Come on, y'all. Come on. Talk back to me. Not because you were perfect, not because you did everything right, not because you said everything right, not because you made the greatest decisions, not because you always went the right places and did the right things. God's going to honor your life because your heart was right, because your intention was right. You really had pure motives behind everything you did, and God's about to honor and reward you for that. And there's beauty in that, because the beautiful thing about it is people can see and know your past and will dwell on what you did wrong and dwell on your mistakes and dwell on all the things that went left and completely lose sight of the fact that God can still honor your intention even when you got a shaky past. He can still honor your spirit even when you've got some flaws in your past and present. So you got to keep your heart pure in this season. Your greatest assignment, I want you to record this, your greatest assignment in this season, this is something God spoke to me this week. I had to remind myself of this. I'm serious. Sometimes you go through situations where you literally want to just get people together from A to Z and just walk out the room. Okay. And then God had to remind me of something that I'm going to remind all of you. And that's this. Your greatest goal in this season is to keep your heart pure. Listen to me, y'all. Your greatest goal in this season is to keep your heart pure. Doesn't matter how many people you know. Doesn't matter how great you are. Doesn't matter how many accolades you have. I want to challenge you on this Resurrection Sunday to remember this, that the key to being blessed is to keep your heart pure. Keep it pure. You ain't going to be perfect, but keep your heart pure. Because when you keep your heart pure, that means you're keeping your intentions good. That means your intent and your motives and your reasons behind what you do are clear. And if the reasons behind what you do are clear, then God eventually always honors that. All right? Now, I want you to record this. This helping anybody? Y'all share this video. If you haven't already, I want you to share this video. I want you to record this. Record this. You ready? When God is for you, you never have to worry about what's in front of you. I'm going to explain it. When God is for you, you never have to worry about what's in front of you. When God is for you, you never have to worry about what's in front of you. Look at this. Bible says in verse 2, on the first day of the week, after sunrise, the Marys go to the tomb. They ask each other who's going to roll the stone away, right? In these days, people were placed in tombs and huge stones were placed in front of them. And a huge stone was placed in front of the body of Jesus. And they said, hey, how are we going to move this stone? We can't move the rock out the way. But when they looked up, verse 4, they looked up and they saw that the stone, which was large, had been rolled away from them. And there's a great lesson in this. And that is, again, go back and see point 1. If your intentions are pure, things always work out for you. But number 2, when God is for you, you never have to worry about obstacles that are in front of you. And some of you are so worried about the obstacles in front of you because you forgot the God that's behind you. Listen to me. Some of you have forgotten about the God that is behind you, that is literally standing behind you, that is pushing you, that is the wind beneath your wings. That's all of these things. You have forgotten about the God that's behind you. So when things in your life, you're confronted with things in your life that feel like huge stones that are in the way, you get nervous. And that's because you forgot who's behind you. No, he ain't standing beside you. He's standing behind you. And it's important because when he's behind you, oftentimes he gives us the push to be able to go forward when we don't feel like we have the strength or the courage to do so. Come on, y'all. How 2-3 women gonna move a huge rock like that? They can't. And the only way they could confront something like this is if they had a God behind them, giving them the courage or the strength to push forward. See, the purpose of many stones in your life is not to keep you from getting what you want. It's to discourage you from going after it. Are y'all listening to me? The purpose of many stones in front of your life is not to keep you from getting what you want. We taught that. Oh, the stone was there to keep them from getting Jesus. No, it wasn't. The stone was there to discourage them from going to see him. And that's how it works in many of your lives. Many of you right now have quote unquote stones in your life. You have boulders. You have things that are keeping you from obtaining certain things, right? You have these blocks in your life and you thought they were designed to keep you from getting it. That's not it. They were there. They were put there to discourage you from going after it. And so you can never allow what has been put in your life, designed to be in your life, to keep you discouraged, to keep you from going after what it is that you desire. Okay? It's a stone. That's all it is. It was not designed to keep you from not getting it. So never look at your obstacles that way. When you see obstacles in your life, you have to remember that the God behind you gives you the courage to push forward anyway. It ain't your job to move the stone. It's your job to approach the stone until the stone goes away. It's your job to go after what's behind the stone until the stone goes away. Your job is not to try to remove the stone. Your job is not to try to remove obstacles. This is for all of you out here in the streets trying to fight your own battles. This is for all of you out here in the streets trying to fix stuff on your own. This is for all of you in the street out here trying to clear your name. Stop. Your job is not to do none of that. Your job is to go after what's behind the stone and to allow Jesus to move the stone for you. Is this making sense to anybody? Y'all stop. Stop trying to fight your battle. Stop trying to fix your battle. Stop trying to remove your battle. Stop trying to explain your battle. Stop getting frustrated by your battle. Stop it. Recognize that those stones come to discourage you. They know they can't stop you. They come to try to discourage you, to keep you, to take the fight out of you. And some of you have literally allowed the stones to take the fight out of you. And I get it. Some of us, you have moved one stone away. And when you moved that stone, there was another stone. There was another stone sitting right there. And you got rid of that obstacle and there was another stone sitting right there. And you got rid of that obstacle, and there was another stone sitting right there. I get it. If it isn't one thing or one stone, it's another. Been there, done it. But hear what I'm saying. None of those stones have the strength or the power to keep you from getting what's behind it. It is your job. It is your job to find the strength and the encouragement, not to focus on the stone, but to focus on what's behind it. I want you to know that the stone has been sent in your life to keep you from going after what's behind it. And don't you dare let the obstacle keep you from going after what's behind the obstacle. Is this making sense to anybody at all today? All right. So this is important. They went there. They expected that stone to be there. And what they expected to be there was absolutely gone. And this is critical because the first thing that Jesus does when he gets up is he moves the stone away. Okay? First thing that he does when he gets up is he moves the stone away. Right? So he didn't go see about them. He moved the stone away. So the first thing that he did when he gets up is he removes the impossible situation. I have time to deal with this today like I want to. This is one of them Sundays I wish I had an organ. Right? The first thing that he does is he moves the impossible situation. And this is critical because the byproduct of every miracle is an open door. How can I put this? The open door isn't always the miracle. Oftentimes, the open door is just the access to the miracle. Let me see if I can explain this good. The open door isn't always the miracle. Oftentimes, the open door that God creates for us is nothing more than the path that has given us access to the miracle. The removing of the stone was not the miracle. The removing of the stone created access for people to see the miracle. The miracle was Jesus getting up from the grave. The removal of the stone was the removal of the access, was the removal of the obstacle, rather, that gave people the access to see what happened. And so some of you need to understand this. There are some situations in your life where God is giving you access by opening doors. And you call the open door the miracle. When the open door is not the miracle, the open door is the pathway. It's the access that leads you to the miracle. In other words, man, maybe I'm not making this make sense. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little tired, jet lag. I'm sorry. Let me try to explain this another way. Some of you want God to give you a new job, and you want him to give you a job in a career in an area that you don't have a lot of experience. You got a great passion for. And you thought that he was going to drop the job on your lap. But what he's going to do is he's going to connect you to somebody, a CEO, somebody with juice in that field, in that industry, in that organization that has all the access, that has all of the know-how and the capability to connect you with the right people to create the opportunity that you're looking for. So the job is still the miracle, but the CEO that you get connected to is the access to the miracle. And so sometimes God sends the open door before he sends the miracle. I quit. And is this making sense? Sometimes God sends the open door before he sends the miracle. And this is why you should never minimize open doors in your life. I want to say this to you all on this Resurrection Sunday. Many of you are about to walk into a season called open doors. Are y'all listening to me? Many of you are about to walk into a season called open doors, where literally God is about to send you to a season of your life where one opportunity for access after another is going to open up to you. It ain't going to be the blessing. It's going to be the open door that leads you He's going to pull back the tomb so that you can walk to. He's going to pull back the stone, rather, so that you can walk to what it is that you're seeking. It is the season of open doors. I want you to put that in the comment. Quickly, if I'm talking to you, I want you to put in the comments right now, I'm walking in a season of open doors. Quickly. Come on, y'all, quickly. Chop, chop. Hurry. We got to go. I'm walking in a season of open doors. I want you to put it in the comments quickly. I'm walking, and you got to believe this from here throughout the remainder of the year. This thing really hit me this week. Zeb, you know what you're going to get, but I'm not going to give you that first. I'm going to give you access to go get it, which means I'm going to remove. I like that. Sis said, I'm actually already walking in it. And that's where I am. He said, I'm going to give you access to go get what you want. And so instead of looking for the blessing, you ain't got to look for something that you know is already there. Watch this. You don't have to look for anything that you know is already there. I get on my son about this. Practicing dribbling. And in his basketball 101, when you learn the game of basketball, the first thing they teach you is you don't look down at the ball when you're dribbling. Why? Because you know it's there. But you're looking for something that's already there for. You're dribbling, the ball is going to come right back to your hand. It is. Unless you move your hand out the way, the ball's coming right back to your hand. So you crossing over, doesn't matter which hand you're dribbling with, you going behind your back, doesn't matter. The ball's coming back to your hand. So there's no need of you looking down at the ball. The ball is there. Your job is to look forward. And see, many of you are looking for the blessing. You ain't got to look for something that's already there. The blessing's there. Everything that you've expected God to do for you, everything that you've intended God to do for you, everything you believe for him to do for you, it's there. It's already behind the stone. You ain't got to worry about that. Your job is to look forward. Look for those opportunities where God then creates new access, new open doors, where he sends people to do things that your credit can't do, where he sends people to do things that your business card can't do, where he sends people to open up doors that your last name wasn't good enough for. And when you do that, you understand that oftentimes before God gives you behind what's behind the rock, he sends people to move the rock out the way. God's about to send people into your lives that's going to help remove some barriers, that's going to create the access that you've been waiting for. There are some things you've been trying to break into that you have not been able to break into because of the barriers that were in place that were bigger than your own strength, that were bigger than your own credit, that were bigger than your own last name, that were bigger than where you came from, that was bigger than your history, that was bigger than all of your mistakes, that was bigger than all of your failures, that was bigger than all of your flaws. You had stones in your life that were bigger than all of those things. And God said, I'm going to send somebody that's going to move that stuff out the way so that you have access to what you've been waiting for. Is this making sense to anybody but the old man? All right, look at this. I want you to record this. Record this and I'm almost done. 3 more points I got to give y'all and I'm almost done. Record this. You ready? Record this. The clue to every miracle is impossibility. Rehab, I've given you this particular bullet point before in the past. I couldn't resist for today. This is good. The clue to every miracle is impossibility. The clue to every miracle in your life is impossibility. The clue to every miracle in your life is impossibility. What you getting at? Well, look at verse 5. As they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. By the way, in St. Mark chapter 16, I'm at verse number 5. Verse 6, don't be alarmed, this young boy said. You are looking for Jesus the Nazarene who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him, right? This is important. They entered the tomb and they didn't see what they expected to see. This is important. Sometimes the only proof we have that God has created a miracle in our lives is when we can't see what we used to see. We can't feel the way we used to feel. We don't expect the way we used to expect. In other words, when God has really maneuvered miracles in our lives, it moves us to a realm of understanding impossibility. And sometimes he does not create miracles in our lives until he positions us with impossible situations. You cannot say you want God to perform a miracle in your life without him first giving you an impossible situation. This is why I'm very careful. And I get it. We chant this in church a lot. Oh, God. We chant this in church a lot, and it makes for a good praise break, and it makes for a good God moment and all of that stuff temporarily. But here's the problem. In church, every time you say, or not even in church, just in general, every time you say, God, I need a miracle, what you're saying is, God, I need an impossible situation. Listen to me. This is all of you that just randomly, haphazardly throw out words out there. God, send us a miracle. Lord, we need a miracle. Lord, we need a miracle. Okay. Okay, cool. You ask for a miracle, and the only way you can get a miracle is if you get an impossible situation, which is why you got to be careful of what you ask for. You know, so many people are asking for a miracle. I want a miracle in this. Here's a classic one. I want a miracle in my finances. God, send me a miracle in my finances. Well, so what he does is he then takes you through a season of your life, a period of your life where you're broke. You can barely pay your bills. You got eviction notices. You don't know how you're going to pay your rent. You don't know, your car is breaking down. Then after your car break down, your house has all kinds of repairs. And after that happens, you got to bail your cousin out of jail. You got to do all of this stuff. And you begging for a miracle in your finances. And then you wonder why you go through a season of being broke. And I'm here to tell you, you can't have it both ways. See, when we ask for miracles, what we're really asking for is impossible situations. So here's the remedy. And this this is so counterintuitive, but it makes sense if we're really mindful of the things we say. And this is going to be practical. If your money ain't that bad, stop asking God for a miracle. Listen to me. If your money ain't that bad, stop asking God for a miracle. Like, you might be paying your bills, you making it along. You doing all right. You might not have as much money as you want, right? Things might not be, you might not be debt free or nothing like that. But hey, you paying your bills, you making it, you eating well, nothing getting cut off. You can get your hair done every now and then. You get all the stuff. Don't turn around and say, God, I need a miracle in my finances. Because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. He gonna take you from making it, and he gonna go ahead and drop the bomb on you. And then you're gonna have to go through a season where an impossible situation needs to be created for you to say, I have a miracle. I'm serious. Don't say, God, I need a miracle in my career. And you like the job and you like the people you work with. And you just want a promotion, and maybe you ain't had a promotion in a while. Ask for the promotion. Don't ask for a miracle in your career, and else all the folk you working with gonna start getting on your nerves. Folk gonna start quitting. They're gonna change your shift. All this crazy stuff. Why? Because God does not send miracles without impossible situations. So we got to be careful, right? We go through the declaration every Sunday. We have to be careful of the words we say. We have to be careful of the words we speak. The late Bishop Robert Tapper, Christ Temple, out of Danville, Virginia, the great Robert Tapper, I heard him teach this, the power of words. This was years ago. He taught at my dad's church years ago. And I'll never forget this, ever. And it forever changed the way I pray. He talked about the power of words and how, much like when we expect miracles in our lives and we want a miracle requires impossible circumstances, right? Or else it wouldn't be a miracle. And he taught this thing about the dangerous highways. I'll never forget it. And I've taken this out of my prayers. I remember in the morning I used to wake up and I used to say, Lord, keep me, watch over, protect me, keep me covered, protected under the blood, watch over me, keep me out off the dangerous highways. Well, here's the problem. When you say that, you are saying, God, protect me from dangerous highways. In other words, he ain't going to protect you from something he ain't going to first put you in. So now I don't say, God, protect me from dangerous highways. Why? Because I don't want the highways to become dangerous for me to be protected. I just say, God, watch over me, protect me as I go from place to place, from A to B, from point A to B. See, we induce the dangers. We induce the danger on the highway when we say, protect me from dangerous highways. This is making sense. I hope I'm not being this is making sense. So the same, you have to change your prayer, Sister Swan. It shocked the I don't know what out of me, but it made sense. Why would I induce danger on the highway? No, just ask him to protect you. He knows what's coming. He knows what's ahead, but you never want to create the circumstances for your prayers to be answered. Does that make sense? You never want to create the circumstances for miracles to be answered, for miracles to be created in your life. And when you do that, you're doing that. Dangerous highways. My sick body, and you ain't sick. Stop. He gonna heal my sick body. He gonna make you feel bad so he can heal you. Stop that. There's power in our words, right? It's power in the things that we say. Michelle, I'm not fooling with you today. It's power in the things that we say, right? But again, this is so important. There's some things in your life that are out of whack, literally, because God had to create an impossible situation to create the miracle. And if there was no impossible situation, there could be no miracle. Add pastor to the list. And there could be no miracle. I'm serious, right? So we've got to be careful there. All right, good. I'm almost done, y'all. 2 more points. Record this. Record this. It doesn't matter what happens to you. God always makes good on his promises. It doesn't matter what happens to you. God always makes good on his promises. Record it. It doesn't matter what happens to you. I could even add or around you. God always makes good on his promises. His record's undefeated, y'all. Look at verse 7. Boy tells the Marys, he says, listen, verse 7, but go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you. Verse 8, trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. This is important. The angels tell them they will see him there just like he promised. The angels send the Marys out and says, listen, this boy sends them. I said, listen, go tell the people he's risen. Jesus is going to meet you there. And what Jesus does after he moves the tomb, first thing, after he moves the stone, is he goes ahead to meet the disciples where he needed them to be. So he moves the stone. And then after he moves the stone, he goes ahead and fulfills his word. And this is what we need to hear today. I don't care what the obstacle is. I don't care what the struggle has been. There is nothing you're going to go through where Jesus does not in turn make good on his promises. He always makes good on his promises. He literally always makes good on his promises. And the way he does it is he stands behind you to give you the strength to go towards the stone. He goes before you to set up your miracle before you get there. Are y'all listening to me? He stands behind you to push you, to give you the courage to go towards those obstacles, to go towards those stones in your life that are blocking you. He goes ahead of you to fix your promises before you get there. He stands behind you to give you courage. He goes before you to set the deck, to set the promises, to ensure that everything that he promised you is prepared when you get there. And some of you need to know this. The reason why you can't see Jesus And the reason why some of you can't feel him, and you're praying every day, you believe every day, you're doing your best to do your best every single day. But the reason why it feels so lonely right now is not because Jesus ain't with you. It's because he's gone before you. Somebody needs to hear this today. You ain't alone. He's just in front of you. It's not that Jesus left you hanging. He's just in front of you. And everything that you need fixed up for you, he's already gone ahead of you to fix it up. Now that the obstacles are out of the way, now that the access has been granted in your life, now that doors have been opened in your life, he has gone ahead of you to make sure that everything you've been waiting for has been prepared for you. So don't get frustrated when you go through seasons of your life. Watch this. Just like in the story, don't get frustrated when you go through seasons in your life where you go to look for Jesus and you can't find him. Oh, man, are y'all listening to me? Some of y'all ain't caught this yet. Some of you are frustrated because you went to go find Jesus. You can't find him, but you didn't even realize that he's gone before you to set up what you've been looking for. Y'all, this is a whole word. Are y'all listening to me? You're frustrated because you can't feel him. You're frustrated because you don't see him around, but you don't even realize that he's there. He's just gone ahead of you. He's moved on ahead of you to fix things in your family that you can't fix, to fix circumstances in your career that you can't fix, to fix things in your health that you can't handle, to fix things in your career that you can't, to fix things in your business, to create opportunities for your business that you cannot handle. He's gone ahead of you to fix the things before you. So it's not that he's not with you. He's doing his job. He's doing his job, right? Is this making sense? He's doing his job, right? And so I like this. He does this. The Bible says that the women leave the tomb and they leave. They're shaking. They're afraid and they're quiet. Somebody's got to hear this word really quickly. And then I got one more good point to give you, and I'm done. They're shaking, they're afraid, and they're quiet. Could it be that the next thing that God does in your life is going to be so major that silence is going to be the only response? Could it be that there's some things that God's about to make happen for you in your life that's going to be so mind-blowing that the best response for that situation, the most appropriate response, is going to be silence? This is for all of y'all that's walking around telling everybody what's going on in your life, what's about to pop in your life, what's about to happen in your life, what's about to move in your life, what's about to kick off in your life. Let me tell you something. There are seasons of your life, for real. There are seasons of your life that God creates that are so major and so big sometimes that the only response you really have is nothing at all. Some of us ain't talking not because he ain't doing nothing. We ain't talking because the stuff he's doing is so big that it would probably scare y'all if we did tell you. Some of us ain't talking right now, not because God ain't moving for us. Some of us ain't talking right now because you really wouldn't be able to handle what we told you. Think about it. How would people respond to the Marys if they walked out and said, man, that big old rock that was in front of Jesus got moved? And we don't know how it happened. They would think they were crazy. The folk would think they were crazy. The folk would think they had lost their minds. And see, this is why it don't pay for some of y'all to tell everybody what God's doing in your life. There are some things where silence is the most appropriate response. I'm telling y'all, there are some things happening in your life where silence is the most appropriate response. I was laughing, I was chuckling, thinking to myself. I had a really good meeting Monday with someone about some things going on at the church, and I just I was driving back home and was just laughing and chuckling to myself because I was just thinking, people will really miscalculate your silence and think, oh, you quiet, ain't nothing happening, ain't what's going on with them, ain't saying nothing, ain't nothing moving. And people don't even realize there'll be things moving in your life that's so major that if you told it, people wouldn't believe you. So you just bank on the side of letting people think what they want to think. And some of y'all got to grow to a place where you learn how to let people think what they want to think instead of trying to explain everything God doing in your life. Shut up. There's some things that are so major where the best response is no response at all. Be quiet. What you explaining for? You're going to pop out with it. You're going to pop out with it. And then people going to be like, what? That's the best response. The best response from people is the surprise response. When you pop out, like you just came offline somewhere, and you pop out and people be like, I never saw that coming. And some people will never have that shock value because y'all run your mouth too much. There's some things God's doing in your life that you don't need to talk about right now. Learn how to live in silence. Learn how to operate in silence. I like that. Learn how to move in silence. Because I'm here to tell y'all, there's some things that's going on in my life. I get why they were afraid. I get why they were shaking. There's some things that are moving in my life. There's some opportunities that I'm on the cusp of receiving in my life that honestly make me nervous. Like, I don't even know. I'm not going to say I don't know if I can handle it. I just don't wow, like this is a lot. There's a lot going on and it's great things, right? And the crazy thing is people think you dead. You ain't dead. You just quiet. Somebody needs to put that in the comments right now. That's your word for the day. I'm not dead. I'm quiet. Come on, type it quickly. If I'm talking to you, I'm not dead. I'm quiet. And so, see, there's some things moving in my life personally that are so big that literally they are terrifying sometimes. Like, how in the world am I going to do that? How is that going to happen? How can I do that? How am I going to be able to pull that off? Don't talk. Be quiet. Because there's a whole lot of people that think you're dead and you ain't dead. You're quiet. And the beautiful thing about being quiet is that oftentimes you're better off with people letting people think you're dead and you pop out with everything that you're going to have than to be running your mouth and you pop out with nothing at all. Sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes that's what you got to remind people. I ain't dead. I'm quiet. I'm just in a season of my life where I'm waiting on the manifestation of some stuff to happen. And this stuff is so big that sometimes it leaves me shaking. It leaves me trembling. It makes me a little bit nervous. Y'all, if God really blesses you for real, like if he really blesses you for real, like with major stuff, you're going to know he's blessing you with major stuff. You're going to know he's blessing you with major stuff when you get to a point where it's so big that it scares you. Like, God, I didn't even go to school for grants. How am I manage one? I didn't even go to school to run this business. How am I manage it? I didn't even, I was raised by my grandparents. I wasn't even raised by my parents. How am I going to have a successful marriage? Right? All of these things, y'all not listening to me. You're going to know he's in the major blessing business concerning your life when the stuff he's doing is so big that it literally terrifies you. I was sharing with the board, and they can testify to this. I was sharing with the board when we first started having conversations about reopening and then doing the hybrid thing and being out in this innovative space. There are really less than about 10, 11 official churches in the country that are on a hybrid or true hybrid schedule. We're a trailblazer in this regard. I was sharing some things with them, and I was also sharing with the board how this virtual format has really opened up some opportunities and some demands for some other things in some other cities. That's all I'm going to say for now. And I said to them, like, I don't want that. I didn't sign up for none of this. Like, Greensboro is barely enough for me. Okay. I didn't sign up for none of this stuff. Nowhere. And it's overwhelming to think about. Like, to think about the management of some things being on a greater scale because I wasn't trained to do it. Nobody's showing me how to do it. Nobody's teaching me how to do stuff. And so it's overwhelming. It can make you afraid, not afraid in the sense of scared, but afraid in the sense of like overwhelmed. You had to remind myself, that's what God does. When God bless you big for real, when he moves big obstacles out of your life and creates big miracles behind the obstacle, that stuff, man, will shake you for real. See, some of y'all getting blessed with stuff, and it's little stuff. And it ain't no, I'm not minimizing your blessings, but it's little stuff. But just wait till God start doing stuff that's bigger than your qualifications, or that doesn't look like your past, or that's bigger than your history. Wait till he starts doing stuff in that regard. You're going to be like, man, I can't manage this. I can't handle this. I can't deal with this. And I like that Sister Nikki Watson says, "What? I stay scared." And again, it's not, don't hit me with, well, God has not given us a spirit of fear. I'm not talking about fear. I'm talking about scared in the sense of this is overwhelming. This is bigger than what I planned. This is bigger than what I thought I could handle, but that's okay. The blessings of the Lord should be exceeding and abundant above what we can ask or think, which means if he's doing stuff that don't overwhelm you, it ain't big enough yet. If he's blessing you with stuff that ain't bigger than your degree, it ain't big enough yet. If he's blessing you with opportunities that ain't bigger than your past history, it ain't big enough yet. You ain't really tapped into God yet. Because here's the reality. My degrees will get me a lot of jobs. My experience will get me a lot of jobs. I don't want that. What would I need God for something I can go do on my own? I need him to do the stuff that my degrees can't handle. I need him to do the stuff that my history can't handle. I need him to fix the stuff that my knowledge don't have the sense to handle. And when you start tapping into that, you're tapping into obstacles being moved out of the way and things that are behind the obstacles being prepared for you. Does this make sense to anybody at all? And so I want you to be prepared. I want you to say, and I like that reminder, Dr. Vance. I told y'all a few months ago, sometimes you got to start saying to yourself, I'm overwhelmed. And when you do it, you will start to see God literally overwhelm your life. There was a period of my life about 2-3 weeks ago where things were so busy that literally I was out of breath. It was a Wednesday or Thursday. I sat in there in that living room on that couch out of breath because I had more work, more business, and more opportunities than literally I had minutes to address it. I was literally flying by the skin of my teeth, just trying to get through a day. And then I had to remember what I said to myself. I ain't blessed. I'm overwhelmed. Everybody blessed. I'm not blessed. I'm overwhelmed. I'm at a place where God is literally overwhelming me, and it's too much to consume. And sometimes it leaves me scared. It leaves me like, how in the heck am I going to do this? And that's when you know you've really tapped into the true nature and essence of God. Here's the last point, and I'm done. Verse 9 is my favorite verse. I love to teach this when I'm dealing with saints, sinners in the grave, this Easter story, because this is the part that I like to share. Verse 9, St. Mark, chapter 16, verse 9, New Living Translation, last verse and point, and I'm done. Says this: when Jesus rose early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had driven 7 demons. So Jesus didn't show up to all the saints. He didn't show up to all the folk that have been shouting every week. He didn't show up to all the folk that did it right. He didn't show up to all the people who had all their ducks in a row. The first person Jesus revealed himself to was the lady he had to just deliver 7 demons out of. So the very lady that was demon possessed, she had 7 demons, was the first person that had the privilege to see Jesus. And here's the point I want you to get you. You ready? Easter Sunday is for saints and sinners. I spent 45 minutes just to get to this point. Easter Sunday is for saints and sinners. Y'all stop letting folk tell you that Easter ain't for folks that don't have it together. That Easter is only for people who not. I actually know people right now who get offended when folk come to church and they ain't dressed up on Easter Sunday. That's a tradition, y'all. It's okay There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not criticizing. Y'all dress up today so I can like y'all's pictures on social media. I'm a like them. I don't have a problem with you dressing up. But listen to me. Y'all stop criticizing folk that show up to church on today and they ain't got on but jeans and a t-shirt. Because St. Mark, chapter number 16, verse number 9 is proof that if the first person Jesus revealed himself to was a woman who had 7 demons, that maybe, just maybe, Easter is for folk that ain't got it together too. He didn't get up from the grave for just perfect people. He got up from the grave for imperfect people too. He didn't get up from the grave from just people who know church songs. He got up for people who, where on Easter Sunday might be the only day of the year that they listen to church songs. I know this is hard for some of you saying, I know it. But I'm telling you, if y'all go to a building today and do the traditional service, that's fine. But don't look at nobody sideways because they ain't got no sharp outfit on, or they come in there with just some jeans or some slacks or something, or sis coming there, she got on the same skirt dress she wore to the club last night because the clubs was packed. The clubs are always packed on Easter weekend. And she got on the same dress she had on at the club last. Leave her alone. Don't bother her. If she fall out and the skirt real short, get a little sheet and and so we don't all see the whatever, and don't even be dramatic with that. And I ain't got time to fool with y'all because I could really taunt y'all on this point right here. Because some of y'all need to be throwing sheets on folk that's got skirts down to the floor. There's a whole lot of folks wearing skirts in church, and their sheets and their skirts go down to the floor, and you need to be putting sheets on them. And it ain't because you can see something. Don't y'all start me today. I'm always in the mood. Okay? So y'all let folk enjoy Jesus today, because Mary Magdalene is proof that if she was demon possessed and Jesus said, listen, I'm going to give you the honor of revealing myself to you first, understand that if you got problems today, you got a right to the throne today. Not just today, but every day. You got a right to go to church. You got a right to worship God. You got a right to try to figure it out. Yeah, you ain't doing everything right. Who is? Yeah, you ain't always making the best decision. Who is? Who? So all of that's okay. But don't you dare let anybody put you in a box and have you feeling like because you're not doing the right things, because you're not saying the right things, because you are not being the perfect person, that days like today don't belong to you. That the same Jesus we worship every week doesn't belong to you. It belongs to you too. Because he didn't just do it for us. He did it for everybody. That's all I got, y'all. Just bless anybody. Was this message a blessing to anybody today? I hope it was. I love Easter Sunday. I do. I miss being in the building today. I truly miss being in the building today. I love Easter Sunday because Easter at Rehab is different than most churches. Folks dress up and that's fine. We do that. But Easter at Rehab is a little different because Easter normally at Rehab, and y'all don't believe this, just ask the people that go to Rehab. Normally at Rehab, this is one of those Sundays where we have people who don't normally go to church say, hey, I'm going to try church and I'm going to try it at Rehab. And I love Easter Sunday at Rehab. I do. Y'all know I'm not making this up. Members know I'm not making this up. So this is definitely one of those Sundays where I wish I was in the building today, because it's always great to share this message with believers and unbelievers. And so I'm going to miss you guys today in the building. But listen, I want to pray with you. You got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments quickly. I want to pray for you every single morning, 4:30 in the morning. Get up, I pray over your prayer request. And I want you to know that I'm praying for you, not just today, but all week long. And I'm just so grateful to be back from spring break with my children. No, I didn't get up at 4-something in the morning on break. Y'all know my rule on vacation. I was on vacation with my kids. It was their time. But I did pray for you. And so I want you to know I will be praying for you this week. And so if you've got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments quickly. Because I want to pray for you. I want to pray over your situation. I want to pray over the things that you've got going on, that God will certainly answer prayers for you, your family, your situation, your career, your finances, whatever it is that you're dealing with. so that God will continue to be a blessing to you. Listen, type it in the comments quickly. If you got a prayer request, type it in the comments really quickly. If you got a prayer request that we cannot see, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. You can email your prayer request there, and we can certainly put in the subject line prayer request. That email will be routed to me, and I will certainly read that request and always respond to that. I see the prayer requests are starting to run through on Instagram right now. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. Come on Facebook, YouTube, type in your prayer request really quickly. So I want to pray for you, or do a call for discipleship. We're going to sow a seed. I want to get off of here in the next 9 minutes today, and certainly turn you loose to enjoy your family, friends, and whatever you want to do today. If you got a prayer request, type it in the comments quickly. I'm giving you 20 seconds. Type it in the comments on this great Easter Sunday, this great Resurrection Sunday. We want to pray for you. We want to pray for your situation. We want to pray for your circumstance. Remember, Easter ain't just for folks who believe. It's also for folks who are challenged to believe. And I want you to know that today. And when you remember that, you will never see the resurrection story the same. And I certainly hope this message has been a blessing to you. Listen, after you've typed in your prayer request or emailed your prayer request, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith, as if we're touching and agreeing. I want you to put your hands together, clasp your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. We're getting ready to pray today. And I want to pray for you. I want to pray for whatever it is that you're dealing with. I want to pray for whatever it is that you're going through. That certainly God would answer your prayers. Come on, connect your hands. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. I thank you for this time of gathering and sharing you've given us. I pray that something was said or done that has encouraged somebody, that has convicted somebody to want to live for you, to want to serve you, to want to remember that this thing about salvation is not about perfection, but it's about giving our hearts to you. I pray that as a result of today's word, somebody has given their heart to you, that somebody has made a commitment to want to live for you and do the work of your kingdom. Now, God, we lift up to you every single prayer request that's been typed on this broadcast, every single prayer request that's been emailed to us, every single prayer request that is so deep into someone's spirit that they can't even type it. They can't find the words to say it. We lift those requests up to you now, and we ask, God, that you would answer those prayers as only you can, that you would make ways as only you can, that you would open doors as only you can, that you would meet the needs of your people as only you can. We thank you, God, for a week that will be filled with miracles, that will be filled with open doors, that will be filled with new opportunities, that will be filled with new seasons of abundance in every area of our lives. God, we thank you for these things, and we know that you're not just in the blessing business, but you're in the business of giving us exceeding and abundantly above everything that we could even imagine for our lives. God, go beyond our imagination this week. Move beyond our imagination this week and allow tremendous things to happen in our lives as only you can. God, we thank you for these things, and we count all of these things done in Jesus' name. Amen. Do me a favor. You prayed that prayer of faith. I want you to type in the comments quickly. It is so. Quickly. It is so. It is so. Come on, quickly. It is so. Every time you say amen, you are simply saying it is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to type in the comments quickly. It is so. It is so. It is so. Come on, quickly. It is so. Every single time you say amen, you are simply saying it is so. And I want you to walk with that kind of attitude this week, that kind of demeanor this week, that kind of disposition this week. It is so. Concerning my finances being better, it is so. Concerning my health being better, it is so. Concerning my family getting better, it is so. Concerning my career turning around, it is so. You've got to walk with that attitude. You've got to walk with that posture. And I'm here to tell you that if you do, you're going to see tremendous things happen in your life today. Listen, as you're typing that, if anybody wants to be saved, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, I want you to stop what you're doing. The Bible tells us this in Romans 10:9, that if we confess with our mouths, if we believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. It's that simple. Salvation, and I hope I've proven that today, salvation is not about being perfect. Salvation is about recognizing that we serve a Savior that's greater than our imperfections. We serve a Savior that's greater than all of our flaws. We serve a Savior that's greater than everything that we've ever failed in, who can save us beyond ourselves. If you want to be saved today, the good news is you don't have to be perfect. The good news is you don't have to do everything right. The good news is all you have to do is believe in today. The very day that we celebrate today, Resurrection Sunday, you got to believe that Jesus Christ lived on this earth, died on the cross, rose again 3 days later for our sins, and did it for sinners like us. You got to confess that you are a sinner. And if you do all of those things, God can literally save you on today. Listen, if you want to be saved, I want you to stop what you're doing. If you're at brunch, I want you to put down the bacon. If you're about to go to the cookout, I want you to stop and sit on the bed. If you're in a swimming pool somewhere out in LA, I want you to swim over to the side and listen to me, because God wants to save you right where you are. If you're driving, pull over. This is that important, because I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me. And right where you are, God is going to save you right where you are. Say this with me. Say it. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. I have some flaws. And I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. You have made a powerful decision today in giving your life to Christ. Now, do me a favor. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to type in the comments really quickly, #salvation. Let me know you've given your life to Christ. Let me know you've dedicated your life to Christ. Let us know. Why? Not so we can embarrass you, not so we can put you on Front Street. We want to simply celebrate with you. We want to celebrate the decision that you've made today to give your life to Christ. So put in the comments, if you prayed that prayer of faith, if you dedicated your life to Christ, I want you to put in the comments right now, #membership, #membership. Now, I'm sorry, #salvation. Now, if you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, because many of you've given your life to Christ, now you need to find you a church home somewhere. I don't care where you go. Find you a church home somewhere where you can be a part of that ministry. You can grow in that ministry. You can grow in your faith. You can be surrounded by other believers, and you can continue to grow in that faith. I want you to find your church home somewhere and be a part of that ministry. Maybe you're tuned in today and you're like, I like the Rehab Christian Center. I'm going to be an in-person. I want to be an in-person member, and I can show up in the building. I want to be a virtual member, and I can tune in on 2nd and 4th when we go hybrid and be a part of this virtual community as well as the in-person community. Maybe you enjoy the Rehab Christian Center and you want to be a part of this ministry. I would love to be your pastor in this season of your life. If that's the case, do me a favor. Just type in the comments, #membership, #membership. And one of our faithful moderators will reach out to you, get some information from you. And we would be happy to welcome you, not to the largest church on the planet, not to the biggest church on the planet, but by far the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. And you can serve with us in person. You can serve with us virtually starting May the 15th when we go to this hybrid format. And I'm so grateful. We've got members, virtual members all over this country that tune in every single week to get this powerful word. And we would love for you to be a part of our ministry as well. If you want to be a part, just simply type in the comments, #membership. And one of our moderators will get your information, reach out to you, and we would be happy to have you as a part of this ministry. Listen, it's giving time. I want to challenge you quickly. I've got 60 seconds. I want to challenge you quickly to give. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give today on this great Easter Sunday, this great Resurrection Sunday. I want to challenge you to give a resurrection seed. Do that. If this word has been a blessing to you, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give. We know that we can't beat God's giving. And I want to challenge you to give today. If this ministry has been a blessing to you, you can give one of 3 ways. You can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give on our website, www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. Or you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202. Again, you can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. Our website, www.rehabcc.org. Or you can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202. And you can give either one of those 3 ways. And God, we know, will bless you because of your giving. Listen, I want to challenge you to give today. And I also want to remind you, our short code, 88202, is going away. We will probably have a new short code by Tuesday. They are doing away with short codes, and so we will have a new number. I think if you subscribe to our 88202 number, you don't have to do anything else. I'm not 100% sure, but once we get some details there, we're going to send some information about that. But I want to challenge you to continue to remain connected to the ministry. We are in the home stretch. We've got about 30 more days before we open up into a hybrid ministry. May the 15th will be our launch day, and we would love to see you there. We've got people that are flying in, driving in for that May the 15th opening in person. We'll be in person the 15th and the 22nd, and then in June we will start our first and third in person, second and fourth virtual. And we're just grateful for all of you and your support, and looking forward to seeing you in person. And just grateful for everything that you've done to be a blessing to us. Listen, y'all, do me a favor. I want you to like this video. I want you to share this video. Tag 5 people. Tell them to tune in. Go back and watch this when they get some time today. And then I want you to enjoy your Easter Sunday. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your friends. Maybe you're going to just enjoy it resting. Whatever you do, I want you to just enjoy it. And then make plans to meet me on this Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make plans to meet us here, and I can't wait to see you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that comment. It's a blessing to be here with you every Sunday, and you all are not more blessed than me to just have the opportunity to be able to be with you. And so, thank you so much for tuning in every single week so faithfully. And again, make plans to tune in and join in with us this Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For our virtual life study right here at the Rehab Christian Center. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. Happy Easter to each of you. Happy Resurrection Sunday to each of you. Enjoy your Sunday. And I will make plans to see you this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I love you. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $ Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.